on booze. Stop.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 worst cover songs. For this list, we'll be looking at song covers that really don't measure up to the originals. No offense to those involved, but there's not much nuance here. Any lackluster covers we missed? Drop us a comment below.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
Number 20, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. William Shatner, originally by the Beatles. Is this tongue-in-cheek or for real? Honestly, it's pretty hard to tell.
Cellophane flowers of yellow and green towering over your head.
The Star Trek actor's take on the Beatles classic is, by all accounts, messy. John Lennon's dreamy lyrics worked incredibly well in the psychedelic melodic setting of the original. But here, Shatner reduces them to just plain silliness. He claimed to have tracked his vocals in the style of someone tripping on LSD, which misses the point, unfortunately. According to Lennon, it's not supposed to be a narcotic song at all.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
The bizarre vocals make this cover a must-listen, if only so you can understand just how crazy it really is. Number 19, Crush on You. Aaron Carter, originally by the Jets. Carter was just 9 years old when he released his debut album, featuring this cover of the Jets' classic R&B hit. At this point, you're probably asking yourself, are we really going to criticize a 9-year-old?
Can't keep a secret to save my life. But still I could deal with all I felt inside.
Well, yes. Musically, his take on Crush on You is very similar to the original, but his youthful vocals understandably come off pretty childish and whiny and feel like a very awkward fit with the 80s-inspired sound of the track. This was bafflingly a global hit, even making it into the top 10 in the UK and Australia.
Now measure eggs, my heart's been displayed. You found out I've got a crush on you.
We're honestly surprised anyone wanted to listen to it twice. Number 18, Lose Yourself. The Script, originally by Eminem. That entry title is sure to strike fear into any self-respecting Slim Shady fan. The Script, an Irish band best known for their hit Hall of Fame, attempted this rather ambitious cover on BBC Radio's Live Lounge back in 2008.
Smack back to reality, oh, there goes gravity, oh, there goes gravity, choke. He's so mad but he won't give up, that is.
It's fair to say they didn't exactly nail it. Danny O'Donoghue seems caught between singing and rapping the lyrics, and ends up doing neither very well. Essentially, all the energy and directness of the original are lost, replaced with awkward karaoke-style stuff.
You better lose yourself in the music, the more that you want, better never let it go.
It's all a bit Michael Scott after a few office party drinks too many.
Karaoke, I love it. I am a karaoke fiend.
Number 17, Three Little Birds, Maroon 5, originally by Bob Marley and the Wailers. It takes a brave band to cover this Bob Marley classic, one of the most instantly recognizable songs all over the world. Maroon 5 probably aren't the first act that comes to mind as suitable candidates for the job.
Don't worry about a thing, yeah, 'cause everything is gonna be alright.
And the fact that this was a corporate collaboration with Hyundai rings alarm bells before listening to a single note. Perhaps wisely, the track itself doesn't deviate much from the original, but it's undoubtedly far glossier than Marley's version, and that detracts quite a bit from the charm.
This is my message to you.
Adam Levine's vocals just can't compete with Marley's here. Number 16, Imagine, Avril Lavigne, originally by John Lennon.
You may say I'm a dreamer.
The beauty of Lennon's Imagine is in its simplicity. The instrumentation is sparse, allowing the message and clarity of the vocals to shine through. Wisely, Levine follows this approach and isn't tempted to overdo the arrangement or production. Unfortunately, this exposes a fatal flaw. Her singing lacks the crucial pathos. Namely, the heartfelt quality of Lennon's vocals just isn't there. Levine's performance is decent, but lacking in emotion and vulnerability. And for a song that really hinges on that raw sense of hope and optimism, Levine's take doesn't really cut it.
And the world will let us one.
Number 15, Bohemian Rhapsody, Panic at the Disco, originally by Queen.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Brendan Urie's theatrical stylings have always owed a good deal to Queen, but covering Bohemian Rhapsody, one of the most ambitious and beloved songs the world has ever seen, was always going to be a challenge.
Mama, life had just begun.
Instrumentally, the Panic version is very similar to the original, which is hardly a surprise given how iconic it is. But while Urie's vocals are very strong, Freddie Mercury, he is not. He somehow manages to make this already bombastic song even more over the top. It's technically impressive, but it feels like he's trying way too hard.
So you think you can stone me and spit in my eye?
This, combined with the rather unoriginal approach musically, make it feel rather forgettable. Number 14, Baby One More Time, Travis, originally by Britney Spears. You obviously need no introduction to Britney's magnum opus. The Travis version completely changes the vibe, swapping the slick pop beats for a more indie Britpop sound. Unfortunately, it comes across as a little twee.
Oh, baby, baby, I wasn't supposed to know.
And it's hard to tell if this is a quote-unquote ironic cover or not, which does it no favors. The song is far more suited to being a straight-up pop banger than it is an acoustic rock jam. Britney's vocals are just iconic on the original, but Fran Healy's Scottish brogue doesn't lend itself especially well.
Now give me a sign and hit me, baby, one more time.
Simply put, the Travis version takes itself too seriously. Number 13, Love Will Tear Us Apart, Fall Out Boy, originally by Joy Division. Yeah, Fall Out Boy. If you could just go ahead and not touch the classics, that would be great. Joy Division's original is an iconic 80s track thanks to its instantly recognizable keyboard and bass melodies, and Ian Curtis's bass baritone vocals. The single was released 1 month after his tragic death, giving it a melancholy importance. And then there's this. Patrick Stump's teen rock angst is far inferior to Curtis's genuine pain, and the angry sound found in the chorus, complete with a crescendo of drums and Stump's forceful vocals, takes away from the personal and emotional sound of the original. Sorry, FOB, but this song is not in your wheelhouse. Number 12, American Pie, Madonna, originally by Don McLean.
And I knew that if I had my chance, I could make those people dance.
Madge herself turned Don McLean's 8-minute folk classic into a 4-minute dance pop track. As you do, her choice to cut about half of the song was probably for the best, as her take on the verses she left in is pretty questionable. The dance vibes just don't gel with the nostalgic, allegorical lyrics, and you're left longing for the emotional qualities of McLean's vocals.
Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
This is certainly an ambitious take on the song, and Madonna gets points for trying something new. But tamper with classics too much, and you're left with subpar results like this.
This time singing.
Number 11, Under the Bridge, All Saints, originally by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Under the Bridge is one of the Red Hot Chili Peppers' most distinguishable songs.
Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way.
It features Anthony Kiedis' signature blend of emotive and funky vocals, and it keeps things fresh by beginning rather understated before launching into Flea's groovy bass line and choir vocals. It's an instantly recognizable song, which is more than we can say for the All Saints version, which sounds just like every other pop R&B tune of the late 90s.
I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day.
It's instantly forgettable, which is certainly the last thing you want when trying to stand out alongside a timeless classic. Just water under the bridge.
Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way.
Number 10, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. The Flaming Lips featuring Miley Cyrus and Moby, originally by the Beatles. What did Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds do to deserve two covers questionable enough to make this list? This time, it's the frankly bizarre lineup of the Flaming Lips, Miley Cyrus, and, for some reason, Moby who are to blame. The triple act tripled down on the psychedelic qualities of the original, and then some. The Cyrus-led acoustic verses are actually quite pretty, but the comically distorted chorus is so loud and fuzzy, it's really hard to listen to. And by the time Moby appears, it all feels way too much. This song deserves so much better. Number 9, Seven Nation Army, Marcus Collins, originally by the White Stripes. Seven Nation Army is a rock classic thanks to its stadium-rousing guitar riffs, thumping bass line, and Jack White's hostile vocal performance. There's a reason why it's become a staple at sporting events. It has the ability to rile a crowd and get them pumped for battle. And then the X Factor's Marcus Collins destroys all its power by turning it into a slinky pop tune.
And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget.
Collins' soul pop vocals don't suit the song's aggressive lyrical content, and the instrumentation results in party fun rather than antagonism. The lively production is great, but Seven Nation Army was not a great pick to showcase Collins' soul pop sound.
And the feeling coming from my bones says find a home. Oh, find a home.
Number 8, Smells Like Teen Spirit, Take That, originally by Nirvana. Covering Smells Like Teen Spirit is never a good idea, even if you put an original twist on it like Daniel Johns. Take That mistakenly performed Nirvana's genre-changing Smells Like Teen Spirit live at Earl's Court, and viewing it is just as cringeworthy as anything Michael Scott has ever done. What were they honestly thinking? Covering this classic so soon after Cobain's death was ill-advised enough, but they proceeded to tarnish the reputation of the original with amateurish guitar playing, flat vocals, and a complete lack of energy. Sorry, Take That, but this is so bad, it verges on surreal. Number 7, I Can't Get No Satisfaction, Britney Spears, originally by the Rolling Stones.
Can't get no satisfaction.
Britney has a track record of dubious classic rock covers. Check out her version of I Love Rock and Roll for some evidence of that.
I love rock and roll, so put another dime in the jukebox, baby.
But it's her take on this iconic Rolling Stones tune that catches the ear, for all the wrong reasons. Where Britney's I Love Rock and Roll stayed faithful to the original, her Satisfaction is completely reinvented as an early 2000s pop tune with drum machines and shimmering synths. It's a huge mismatch. Add to that the fact that Spears' vocals lack the power and raw energy of Mick Jagger's, and the end result becomes clear. This was a misstep. Number 6, My Generation, Hilary Duff, originally by The Who. The processed drum beats that introduce Duff's interpretation of The Who classic are an early sign that something is wrong.
People try to put us down.
Then the tinny pop rock guitars come in and, well, those early suspicions are proved correct. It's in that incredibly awkward middle ground between being too similar to the original, it's boring, and too different in a way that doesn't suit the song. Duff's vocals struggle to stand out amongst the questionable production choices, too.
My generation, baby. My generation.
This ended up as a bonus track on Duff's critically panned third record, which probably says it all about the track's quality. Number 5, Back in Black, Shakira, originally by AC/DC. Shakira performed a cover of AC/DC's Back in Black for her live and off-the-record album, and it has next to no reason for existing. It begins with a swing coffeehouse sound, which is actually pretty interesting and original.
Cadillac #1 with a bullet on the forward back. Yes, I'm in a band with a gang.
But then the guitars blast, and what follows is a carbon copy of the original, only with Shakira's relatively inferior vocals in place of Brian Johnson's iconic screech. If you're going to cover a song, at least put an original spin on it and make it your own. Shakira unfortunately didn't, and it just comes across as boring and bizarre. But hey, at least the band rocked. Number 4, 911 is a Joke, Duran Duran, originally by Public Enemy. Take a vital American hip-hop song about poor response to emergency calls in black neighborhoods, give it to a British synth-pop group to cover, and what do you get? Unfortunately, this. It's only natural for Duran Duran to admire the original track. Who doesn't? But quite why they thought they were in any way suitable to perform it in this style is another question. The hybrid of bluesy guitar licks and singer Simon Le Bon's attempts at rapping really does not work. However well-intentioned it may have been, this cover tries to genre hop and fails miserably. Number 3, Comfortably Numb, Scissor Sisters, originally by Pink Floyd. Make no bones about it, this is a radical change from the original. The iconic slow-burning groove of this classic from The Wall is gone, replaced with an up-tempo, arpeggiated disco groove.
Come on now. I hear you feeling down.
And it really doesn't suit the mood of the track at all. It's obviously hard to compare to the vocals provided by David Gilmour and Roger Waters, but the trademark falsetto of Jake Shears and animatronic are grating in this context, and jar with the lyrical content. It's so different, it might as well be a completely different song, and not necessarily in a good way either.
I tried to look, but it was gone. I can't put my finger out. The child's grown, the dream is gone.
Number 2, These Boots Are Made for Walking, Jessica Simpson, originally by Nancy Sinatra.
You keep saying you got something for me.
Simpson was riding a real publicity high back in 2005. This cover came attached to the Dukes of Hazzard movie, in which she starred as Daisy Duke. Her decision to completely rework the song to tie in with the movie, however, was a real head-scratcher. The modified lyrics contain some serious eye rollers, and the combination of country-style banjos and drum machine beats mix about as well as tacos and marshmallows.
I'm pretending my business happens just for fun.
Ultimately, this song has the feeling of a movie commercial and has very little of the heart and charm present in Nancy Sinatra's original. It all comes across as a bit cynical and clinical.
These boots are made for walking. That's just what they did. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Faith, Limp Bizkit, originally by George Michael. Just like with Behind Blue Eyes, Limp Bizkit has made it abundantly clear that covering the classics wasn't their forte.
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man.
And yet, Limp Bizkit and George Michael are about as incompatible as oil and water. And what results is a terribly lame rendition of Michael's classic. Limp Bizkit have honestly turned this timeless dance rock tune into something of a screaming mess of dated new metal, complete with Durst's whiny vocals, embarrassing screaming, and poorly timed record scratching. We suppose it would be cool if you were 13 years old, but for the rest of us, this is nothing but a shameful take on a classic song.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.